Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the 9% Show. I am your host, Steven Burton. And here at the 9%, y'all know we keep everything 100. If I haven't done it, not doing it, and not about to do it, it will not come out my mouth. So today we are talking about tips to making a successful e-commerce store. Now, this is all up my alley. I know everything I've been talking about been up my alley, but this one right here is really up my alley. And let me just start off by saying, like and subscribe. I thought I was gonna dive into it, but please stop what you're doing, like, subscribe, click the button. It's really gonna be helpful, so please do that, okay? Now, what I was about to say was why I love e-commerce. Oh my goodness, I love e-commerce. I've been doing e-commerce, just putting this all in context and put my resume out for the people to see. I've been doing e-commerce before I even knew what e-commerce meant. It's probably been over 20 years. Yeah, it's been over 20 years I've been in e-commerce. I'll let y'all do the math. But I started my first e-commerce website right out of high school, right when I graduated high school. Google was free at that time. There was no paid ads. There was no anything. Heck, I don't even think Google was the #1 search engine at the time. I mean, I don't know. You could spam anyone. Matter of fact, my first website took off. It was hiphopwear.com. I sold Gucci Jordans and Burberry Jordans and fake old Jacob watches and all the stuff that was in the Dipset videos back in the day. Shouts out to Killer, okay? Everything you will see in his music video, I would sell it, okay? I'll dive into that specific venture at another point in time. But the whole point of the matter is, it was very successful at that point. Matter of fact, it was so successful, I brought down my server that I was on at the time, and I had to get my own server to host my own website and all type of stuff. It was a good time to be alive, and that was my first time diving into e-commerce. And ever since then, like when I had to get a regular job and I was chasing my music career, I worked for another company that was also e-commerce. So everything I've been doing has been training me for these moments. Like, I feel like I naturally know e-commerce very well. I understand customer psychology very well. I understand digital marketing very well. You know, I try to keep my ear to the street and see what the latest trends and all this stuff coming out and all this, AI this and changing search algorithms and all this type of stuff. I try to keep up with all of it. It is a lot to take in, but I feel like if you know some basics things, you too can have a successful e-commerce store, okay? So that's what we're gonna talk about today. I'm gonna give you 5 key things that I think that will help you on your journey of creating an e-commerce store. Before we dive into it, I will also say that, the reason I chose e-commerce as my particular business, like, I love the fact that you can be open 24/7. I mean, I go to sleep and I get a sale. I wake up and I get a sale. I go to the bathroom, I get a sale. I work and I get a sale. Like, we don't close. I could be on the beach somewhere. I could be chilling. Matter of fact, we just, the time I'm filming this in December, but the team, we had Thanksgiving off. We had the day out. We had Black Friday off. Oh, and we're in retail. We had Black Friday off. Can you believe it? But we was able to be off, and does that mean we didn't have sales? No, we had a bunch of sales. E-commerce, I love it. It allows me to live the lifestyle I want to live and not be just bogged down by brick and mortar. Because I will say we have a brick and mortar store now, and shouts out to all you brick and mortar people. You guys are the real MVPs. Like, I want to be like you when I grow up because I have no idea how you do it. Like, the pressure of waiting for somebody to walk through the door. I mean, that's crazy. Like, but anyways, we're not talking about brick and mortar. We're talking about e-commerce. But this is why I love e-commerce, and this is why I'm so passionate about it. I think everybody should have an e-commerce store. I think even if your business is not something that can sell online, you still need an online footprint. People need to be able to find you. Like, I believe everybody should have some piece of e-commerce. You should, it's just, the world is too big. It's too big. The United States is too big. California, where we at right now, is too big for you to just be in your local community. Like, there's so many ways to get this money. And we about getting this money at the 9%. Matter of fact, I'm going to take a toast to this because we're going to get this money, y'all. We're going to get this money. All right, let's get this thing started. The 5 tips I have for you, okay? Number 1, okay, pick the right product and the right service. Like, duh, Steve, that makes sense. Okay, we want to pick the right product. But no, you really want to dive deeper here. You want to pick the right product and the right service where you know you can reach your audience, where you know you can reach them. Not that you hope you can reach them. So many people start an e-commerce store. They start selling something. They get all excited about it. Oh, I could sell this. I could sell that. They start taking pictures. They start getting it on. They spend all this time working on the website. They design this. They design that. They start their social media. They making all these cool reels and they disappearing and they appearing in their jeans and all their clothes. And then they realize, well, dang, how do I get people to see this? How do I find people that are interested in what I'm selling? And that is kind of hard. Yes, it's kind of hard to get in front of that people. So my suggestion is when you're at the beginning stages of like thinking about your e-commerce store, and maybe what you want to sell, and what you want to do, or maybe an idea comes about, think about it backwards, okay? Think about it backwards. Say, who is this target? Who would buy this thing? And how hard is it right now if I needed to reach them? Like, how would I do it? What's the competitors looking like? What's the keywords they might search? What's the interests they might like? All those things come together in positioning your product or your service and your website into the right person. If you, for me in Perfect Tux and for what I did, I had a simple thesis or hypothesis. Maybe hypothesis is the word. I didn't finish college, so I'm just trying to come up with these big old words. But I think hypothesis is the word. And I thought that nobody knew anything about tuxedos. Nobody's never heard of a tuxedo brand. Nothing. The most you do, you need a tuxedo, you look to rent it, you look for your tuxedo shop, whatever little local thing you got, and maybe you're searching in that place. And my thought process was shoot, if I can get in front of them and I can have a superior website, superior photos, superior shopping experience, the customer shopping experience is great, I could get sales. And lo and behold, we did it. So I knew how to get in front of them and I knew the strategy of getting in front of that target audience, but I just knew that I could be competitive from day one with what I was selling. It wasn't oversaturated. It wasn't, my competitors didn't have mobile friendly websites at the time. It was old and stale. There really wasn't no new happening with the industry. It wasn't really too many online companies just taking off and doing things in a different way. So I really positioned myself to be that. So the reason we had success so early and the reason we continue to have success, was it by chance? No, it wasn't by chance. Like I knew exactly what was going to happen. I knew it. I felt so good about it. I quit my job and I started it. That's how good I felt about it. And that's what happened. So picking the right product and service is so important. You almost want to even be strategic. Like people will say, solve a problem and be passionate about what you do. Okay. I say, you know what? You can solve a problem, but I don't think you necessarily need to be passionate. I don't. I'm not passionate about tuxedos, but I'm passionate about how to get tuxedos in your hand. I am very passionate about that. So a lot of people, want to be entrepreneurs, want to be business owners, and you might be thinking about like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't have any fresh ideas. I don't know about anything. Work in reverse, okay? Find a demographic out there, a target audience out there, and think about what they need. And think about how do you get to them. If you're selling t-shirts, I think that's a very hard thing to do. And props to all the people that make it successful. But what you write on a t-shirt, okay? Maybe you put Bible verses on a t-shirt. And then you're going to be targeting Bible churchgoers, Christians, Baptists, whatever, that's who you're targeting. So do you know how to reach them? Maybe research Facebook and maybe start an ads account before you even have a business just to see what interests you can target. Maybe you say, oh, look at that. I can target churchgoers. Or let me look on Google or go to trends.google.com. And then I can see that, oh, so many people search for John 3:16 on a t-shirt. And you're like, okay, that'll be my first product. Okay. That's what I mean by picking the right product and service. You want to give yourself the best shot for your e-commerce store to take off. And I believe that is a way to do it. Gem number one, okay? Number two, don't get stuck in a box or a template, or some people call it a template. I don't know the proper term of it, but I'm gonna say template because that's what I call it. But I do not get stuck with a template. I don't. And what I mean by template is a lot of people start a Shopify store or Wix or trying to think of some other e-commerce platforms at the moment. Square? Yep. Squarespace. That's one. But they're really simple. Like they'll take your $35 a month and they'll do everything for you. Drag it over here, drag it over there, blah, blah, blah. Add the cart, boom, there you go. You're in business. Let the sales come in. Make it rain. And then you realize, oh no, this thing is hard. This is very hard. The first step you want to do is you need to understand how your customer, how in your industry, how they shop, okay? How they operate, how they move, what's the hurdles they have, what's the pain points they have. Like all of this stuff, you need to say, okay, this is what it is. And then you need to tailor your website to that, okay? By any means necessary, okay? If you don't got no money to do anything, this ain't the channel for you for no money to do anything. I'm just keeping it 100, okay? If you got $100 to find you a developer or Upwork, maybe they work for two hours, $30 an hour, whatever they can do it. If you need that add to cart button up here instead of down here, if you need some extra information on the page, if you need whatever you need to get the sale, customize your website so that you get it to the point of its optimal performing, converting at the optimal rates as high as it can go. Please go the extra mile and do that, okay? Do not just get stuck on here it is, here's a photo, add to cart, is what it is. You'll find yourself losing and you'll not know why, because your website looks very pretty. It looks very great. Like, oh my goodness, but why am I not converting sales? You need to understand how your customers work. And since this is the 9%, we don't just throw anything out there without giving some real life examples. So you might be like, Steve, what does it mean to get outside the template? Like, give me some real advice about that. And I'm like, hey, I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you want to know. I'm gonna tell you. And that's the hard thing about this 9% show, because I'll be dropping some gems. I'm like, oh my goodness, my competitors be out there, they're gonna jack my gems. But I'm gonna just put it like this. Let's say you sell shoes, right? And you sell shoes and they come in medium width and they come in wide width, right? The average person might not know it, but anybody that has a wide foot, they know it, right? They are very good with it. And let's say on your out the box solution of your box, you can only do size like 10M, 2M, this M, some M, and the other ones you could do 5W, 3W for wide or whatever. And let's just say for the people that shop on your website that really has a wide foot, they know what W means. And they probably know what medium means. They know what M means. But for the average shoe head, I wear a size 12. Let me just pick a size 12. If there's a 12M and a 12W, it might confuse someone. So you might want to say, you know what? I'm going to have on my thing 12 medium, 12 wide. And by any means necessary, I'm going to have it say that. Or maybe when they click the drop down box, I want a little information box to pop up that says medium means this, wide means that. Because this is going to lead me into number 3. And I'm just going to go to number 3 because it's lower the hurdles to convert for sales. You want to lower as many hurdles. You want to make it as easy as possible. So going with this example, as we go into number 3, the hurdle was that they have to ask what medium and wide means. Like, you don't want to spend time. You want somebody to get on your website, pick it, love it, click it, buy it. Okay? If they have to chat with you, send an email, and let's say you're just starting off. Let's say you can't respond to that email in no timely fashion. Maybe in the time it took for you to respond to that email, they found another website. Or anything could happen. Maybe they're no longer interested in it. Maybe they bought it local, whatever the case may be. Those are hurdles that you could have, like, wouldn't it have been great to solve that hurdle and just by saying, you know what, developer, when they click down this drop down menu, I need an information box that pops up and explains what that is right there. And you'd be like, oh, and then you'll start noticing, oh, there's less questions and less ordering because people are spontaneous. People want to get stuff now. Like, it is what it is. So as we go into number 3 about lowering hurdles and anything that could block someone from converting your sales, I mean, I'm talking about photos, okay? Photos are super important. Obviously, that's like number 1 with e-commerce, but it's the perception of what you're selling. The more expensive a product is, the perception of that photo needs to match the price you're trying to sell it at. Okay, if you're selling a $5,000 bag because you want to be a luxury brand and compete with Louis Vuitton and all this type of stuff, if that's what you want to do, by all means. But you better make sure those photos look like they worth $10,000. Okay, you better make sure they ain't a smidget. The shadow, the back shadow is just over there. And it's so bright. And it's like you could zoom in this much. I mean, your zoom better be so big where you can see the dots of the pattern on that bag. If you want the perception to be that this bag is worth $5,000, that's how you have to think with photos. Now, if you're selling a $10 shirt, show the $10 shirt. Maybe it ain't worth the investment to do all that type of stuff. But you get what I'm saying? Perception is key. You want to lower the hurdles. You don't want somebody to look at the $5,000 bag and say, ooh, is it worth $5,000? You want them to say, nah, that looked like $5,000. Matter of fact, it looked like $10,000. I'm getting a steal. That's what you want them to say. Customer service contact. You want to have that. Like, I hate e-commerce stores without customer service contact. I don't want your box that says, send me a message and we'll get back to you maybe some point. Okay? I don't even want an email. And some of my email is only, we'll get back to you. Like, whatever you got to do, add you a phone number, okay? Add you a chat system. Like, do these things that make people, because it's not, you have to get out the world of like, I ain't got time for that, or I ain't trying to talk to no customer, or I got a regular job, I'm over here, customer. Forget what you feel. It's about the customer's point of view. It's about the psychology of the customer. Wouldn't they feel better purchasing from you if they could ask a question and get a response back timely? Or know if there's a problem with their order, they can pick up the phone and call? When I first launched Perfect Tux, people actually called and asked, oh, I was just calling to see if y'all was real. Oh, y'all real? Oh, okay, I was just making somebody was here. Okay, I'm gonna place an order. People actually called for that. Yes, true story, okay? Multiple true stories. So just have it. Like, I'm not trying to hear about nothing. If you want to make sales on your e-commerce store, have customer service contact. It makes a big difference. A return policy. Have a return policy. I know return sucks. Returns are part of the game with e-commerce. It goes hand in hand. It is what it is. You can't avoid it. So yeah, you want to get that money, and I get it. You don't want to give the money back. I don't want to give the money back. You know how much, if I told you how much money we give back in returns every year, like, I would be cool on just that money alone and be straight in my life. Like, I get it. Returns suck. But you know what also sucks? Having no orders because there's no return policy. And again, the amount of money of your product and your service will determine these things. If you're selling a $10 shirt, maybe somebody's willing to waste $10. I am. I've bought things for $20 and I've gotten and said, sucks for me. It didn't work. But I could lose that $20 because I could blow $20 at the bar tomorrow. You know, I could blow $20 at the casino. You know, I could lose that. But if I'm buying something that costs $200, $500, $1,000, I ain't about to lose that. Like, I need to make sure what I'm getting, when it's sight unseen, you're buying it online. I ain't touched it. I ain't felt it. I don't know the quality of it. I need to feel sure that I could return it and I have a problem. Now, it puts it on you as a store owner, as a business owner, to stand by your product. Like, is it great? Is the quality great? You know, like, if you're getting a high return rate, then maybe something's wrong with what you selling. It ain't the customer. Don't get mad because people are returning things and this and the third. How can you provide a better product? How can you provide a better service? That's how you need to be thinking. But thinking that you go just have no return policy, don't do it, okay? Do not do it. You need to have something there. I don't care if it's 7 days, 10 days, 30 days, 45 days, whatever it is, just have some type of policy to make people feel comfortable, okay? You want to have that. Last thing I'll talk about as far as like lowering these hurdles, because you see how long I've stuck on this subject because it's so important. Like this is what about selling online is all about. But you also want to provide info to your customer that is for your customer. Again, I gave the example of creating a custom website that described what a medium width or wide width of a shoe would be. But it's like, whatever information you provide, do not think of descriptions and things like that just for like as a place filler, just like you just fill in some text in, like, it's just here. Trust me, I get it. People barely read descriptions. They barely do. I know it for a fact. But you want to just you want to lower all hurdles. You want to provide information to your customer, to your people in your industry that if they was in a store, they would ask these questions. Okay, if they're in a store asking these questions, like a physical store, a brick and mortar, if they was in a store asking these questions, they're going to wonder these questions while they're online with you. And you should be an expert enough in your field for whatever you're selling to know the common questions, to know the common things people want to know about your product or service. Make sure that information is available. Okay, super important. Make it available. Okay, we're going to go to number 4 now. Number 4. SEO Basics, okay? SEO Basics. And SEO stands for search engine optimization. It is difficult. I'm not going to front and act like it's for everybody, but we're going to talk about some basic things here. And why SEO is important, because SEO is the reason why that allows these search engines, mainly Google, because they got like 98% of the search traffic, that allows the stuff to show up on Google. Show up on the first page. Like, we all strive to get on the first page of Google. We want to be, matter of fact, we want to be number 1 on Google. That is, as an e-commerce store, that is our Super Bowl. Okay. That is what we all strive for. So you need to have your basics and your foundations in order. Okay. Basic things like your page title, your meta description, meaning the description. If I had a screen, if we getting real fancy, I'll put something on the screen right here that'll show where a meta description would go and how it's displayed on Google. But that is the thing. If you search something, it's usually the title of the website, and then right under it, there's some text describing it, like the number 1 website to buy jelly beans. That's your meta description. Those 2 things alone hold heavy weight on your SEO. There's so many times, like, you really want to be strategic with this right here. This is a major gem, okay, major gem. With your title and your meta description, be as specific to keywords as possible. Not the keywords that you think people search for, but what they actually search for. For example, we sell a lot of products that have different colors, different all type of things. And colors mean different things to everybody, right? Let's just say, let's say, I'm throwing out there, lavender is a popular color, but I'm gonna just say lavender, right? But I know, what's more popular than lavender? Purple. Purple is more popular. Someone might search for brick red, or brick, hot pink. It's more popular than hot pink, just pink. Like, how I know this is because you can go to trends.google.com, or if you open a Google Ads account, you can see search what people search, trends, and just get search volumes and all type of stuff. And you'll realize that, okay, you sell lavender, you call it lavender. Your manufacturer calls it lavender. But like, only 500 people search for lavender, but 2 million people search for purple. What are you going to call it on your website? You better call it purple. So you better have purple on the title. You better have purple on the meta description. You better have purple under the product description. Matter of fact, you better have purple in the image name. Purple. Okay. That is what you want to do. And that's being strategic with basic SEO stuff. It's not about you and what you think about something. It's about how people search, what are the most common search terms, and you want to highlight those on your products, on your page titles, on your meta descriptions, for what you're talking about, your blogs, or whatever the case may be. You all want to be strategic there. This ain't the episode where we go dive super deep on SEO, but trust me, I really believe, matter of fact, it's not that I believe, I know for a fact, the title and a meta description will serve you well. And there's so many people that do it wrong. I mean, they just do it wrong. I mean, I can't even, no matter what you're selling, okay? You're selling a children's book, okay? Don't put the title of the website for that product page, Little Blue Goes to the Moon, because that's the title of your book. Who cares that Little Blue went to the moon? You just released this book. Ain't nobody know the title. Ain't nobody know anything. But you know what? You should say Little Blue went to the moon / children's books. Or maybe you just say children's books for sale and then the title of your book, or whatever the case would be. But children's books needs to be in the title, okay? Major gem alert, you're welcome. And we're going to get to number 5. Number 5 thing for your e-commerce store to have success. And that is mastering paid ads. Again, another thing that's difficult. It is not easy. Paid ads will be for Google ads, Facebook, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, heck, LinkedIn got ads. Like everything has ads at this point. But if you're a new e-commerce store, you have no digital footprint. You're not on Google. You're not on anything. How do people find you? Beyond just posting on your social media account and hoping that your friends and family will support you and just support your dreams and all this good stuff. Like, how do you find customers? The fact of the matter is, you need to learn paid ads and how to make them profitable as soon as possible. ASAP like T.I. You feel me? You need to become an expert in this field. Regardless. If you're in the e-commerce world, you need to know how this stuff works. Okay. The first steps you want to do from a super basic one is just put all the tracking codes on your website. Google has a tracking code. Facebook has tracking codes. TikTok has tracking codes. Everything you have has tracking codes, meaning you put these codes on your stuff and then you can retarget customers on Facebook with an ad because they visit your website. Or if they added something to cart, you can target them a little better. Or if they just visit your website and you want to just hit them with an ad, I mean, whatever you can do. I mean, you just want to track that. Or more importantly, you also want to track the data. If there was a sale, you did an ad and somebody clicked through that ad and converted and made a $200 sale, you want to see that this ad converted to $200. You want to know that. If you don't have the data, if you don't have these tracking pixels and tracking codes on your website, you're shooting blindly. You're out there just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just figuring this thing out. Like, you need to add that stuff to your website as soon as possible. Again, we're going to dive into some deeper episodes on talking about paid ads and diving deeper in campaigns and how to set things up and, things that I do that I found some success with. But the early success I had with Perfect Tux was with Google ads. It was a very, it was, all of our traffic was like 90%, probably when we first started, 99% paid ads. As we started to get more known and our organic reach started going up and our SEO started paying off and all this stuff, and people could find us organically on Google. Organically meaning I didn't pay for you to come to my website. You just, we show up on Google naturally. It started to outweigh some of the paid ad stuff. But the fact of the matter is, Google something right now. And once you know how to spot an ad, look on how much there is non-ad stuff. Okay. Let alone on a phone device. Okay. You'll find one line of something that's like organic reach. Everything else is paid. It just is what it is. Remember at the beginning of this thing, I said, I love e-commerce. When I started e-commerce back 20 years ago, everything was free. Everything was free. It was great. It just had 10 listings and that's all it was. And it wasn't hard to get on there if you knew what you was doing. But now the reality of it is paid ads is everywhere. Okay. So anybody can do them. Anybody can start them. They do cost money. You got to pay to play. But the biggest thing is really mastering it to learn how to make that profitable for you. And that is a hard thing to master, but it's just one of those things that you're gonna have to YouTube, you got to get some books, you got to do something. And maybe, I'll open it up to consulting one day and you'll pay me to give you some game. But until then, wait for the next episode to drop. Someday, it won't be the next one, but we'll talk about paid ads and like the strategies there that could help you out with that. Cause I'm not keeping all the game to myself. I will share some of it. Okay. But, yes, that is my 5 tips on making a great, successful e-commerce store. I hope it's been great. If it has resonated with you, please like and subscribe to our channel. Please comment in the comments. I will reply to any that come there. Thank you for your continued support. Until then, I wish you the best and wish for the hopes that you'll get to the 9% Club one day. And I know you will. You feel me? All right. See ya.